Welcome to Media Girls Playbook, where we break down the stories behind the scoreboards, the history, the culture, and the legacy behind Arkansas State athletics. I'm your host, Abby G, and today we're stepping onto the field to take a deeper look at one of the most influential programs on campus, Arkansas State football. In Jonesboro, Arkansas, football isn't just a Saturday event. It's a century-long story of ambition, reinvention, and resilience. At Arkansas State University, the football program has evolved from a small regional team into a consistent contender in the Sun Belt Conference. This is not just a story of wins and losses. It's the story of how a program builds identity and fights to keep it. This is episode 3 of Media Girls Playbook. From its beginnings in 1911 to conference championships in the 2010s, to producing NFL talent and navigating the NIL era, excuse me guys, this is the evolution of Arkansas State football. Segment 1, the early years, 1911 to the 1960s. Arkansas State football began in 1911, long before the program had national recognition. In the early decades, the team competed at smaller classification levels, slowly building a foundation in the regional competition. By the mid-20th century, Arkansas State began to establish itself as a competitive program within its classification. The team captured multiple conference titles at the lower division levels before moving up. One major milestone came in 1970, when Arkansas State won the College Division National Championship, a significant move in school history. That championship signaled something important. Arkansas State was capable of winning at a high level. But to grow further, the program would eventually need to compete on a bigger stage. Segment 2. The transition to D1 and FBS. Arkansas State transitioned into Division I, now known as the FBS, in the early 1990s. That jump required increased scholarship limits, larger operating budgets, stronger recruiting pipelines, and improved facilities. Competing at the FBS level meant facing nationally recognized programs. It meant bowl eligibility standards, and it meant joining a conference that could provide stability. That opportunity arrived in 2001 when Arkansas State joined the Sun Belt Conference. At the time, the Sun Belt was still developing its football reputation, but for Arkansas State, it created a consistent competitive environment. Segment 3, the first Sun Belt Championship, 2005. Before the 2010s dominance, Arkansas State captured its first Sun Belt football championship in 2005. The Red Wolves finished as 6-5 overall and 5-2 conference play, earning a share of the Sun Belt title. While the season didn't result in a bowl game due to eligibility restrictions at the time, it was fundamental. It showed Arkansas State could win in the FBS era. It built credibility, and it laid groundwork for what would come next. Segment 4, the historic three-peat, 2011 to 2013. From 2011 through 2013, Arkansas State won 3 straight Sun Belt championships. Let's break that down statistically. 2011, 10-3 overall record. 2012, 10-3 record again. 2013, 8-5 overall record. In 2012, Arkansas State finished ranked in the national top 25, a major accomplishment for a non-Power 5 program. During this stretch, the Red Wolves consistently averaged over 30 points per game offensively. But here's the most remarkable part. The team changed head coaches 3 consecutive seasons and still won conference titles. That kind of stability during turnover is rare. It reflected recruiting depth, and it reflected leadership within the locker room. And lastly, it elevated Arkansas State's national profile. Segment 5, Bowl Appearance and National Exposure. Since joining the Sun Belt, Arkansas State has earned multiple bowl appearances. Notable bowl games include the GoDaddy Bowl, New Orleans Bowl, Arizona Bowl, and the Cure Bowl. Bowl games matter for mid-major programs. They provide national television exposure, recruiting advantages, and additional program revenue. Between 2011 and 2019, Arkansas State appeared in 8 straight bowl games, one of the longest active streaks in the Sun Belt during that period. Consistency became that expectation. Segment 6, Centennial Bank Stadium and Facilities Growth. Home games are played at Centennial Bank Stadium in Jonesboro, Arkansas. Opened in 1974 and renovated multiple times, the stadium now seats well over 30,000 fans. Facilities upgrades over the past 2 decades have included expanded training rooms, locker room renovations, and academic support centers for athletes. Infrastructure investment is critical for recruiting. It signals long-term commitment, and Arkansas State has steadily improved its facilities to remain competitive in the Sun Belt. Segment 7, NFL Pipeline and Player Development. Arkansas State has produced multiple NFL players over the years. One of the most successful is Demario Davis. After his collegiate career, Davis became an all-pro linebacker and defensive leader for the New Orleans Saints. His success highlights a critical aspect of Arkansas State football, development. Mid-major programs often focus on identifying under-recruited talent and maximizing potential. Arkansas State has consistently developed players who outperform recruiting rankings. That reputation strengthens recruiting.
And we'll be right back after this ad break. Today's episode of Media Girls Playbook is brought to you by the School of Media and Journalism at Arkansas State University. Through hands-on learning, real-world production experience, and creative storytelling, the School of Media and Journalism prepares students for careers in broadcasting, sports media, journalism, and digital content creation. This podcast is presented in collaboration with the Audio Production 2 class in the School of Media and Journalism at Arkansas State University.
Program Record Book. When we talk about program legacy, we have to look at the record book because statistics tell a long term story. One of the most prolific quarterbacks in Arkansas State history is Justin Hansen. Hansen finished his career with over 8,800 passing yards and 68 touchdown passes. In 2018 alone, he threw for over 39,000 yards and 32 touchdowns, one of the most productive single seasons in program history. He ranks among the program leaders in career passing yards, career touchdown passes, and total offensive production. Before Hinton, the program saw major offensive production from quarterbacks like Ryan Alpin, who helped guide Arkansas State through the 2011-2012 champion seasons. On the ground, Arkansas State has also produced dominant rushers. Michael Dyer rushed for over 1,600 yards in the 2012 season alone, one of the top season rushing marks in school history. And historically, the program has had multiple 1,000-yard rushers during its Sun Belt era, showing offensive balance. Receiving production has also been strong. Several wide receivers in the 2010s elapsed 1,000-yard seasons, reinforcing Arkansas State's offensive identity as aggressive and pass-friendly during its championship stretch. When you examine the numbers over time, one theme becomes clear. Arkansas State has consistently produced high-powered offenses during its most successful years, and those numbers matter in recruiting. They show opportunity, they show exposure, and they show development. Segment 8, the NIL and Transfer Portal Era. The landscape of college football has shifted dramatically in recent years. The introduction of the NIL, name, image, and likeness, allows athletes to earn compensation. The transfer portal provides mobility between programs. For schools in the Sun Belt, including Arkansas State, this creates both risk and opportunity. Retention becomes more complex, but development and early playing time remain strong recruiting advantages. The challenge moving forward will be maintaining competitive depth while navigating financial disparities between conferences. Segment 9, Measuring Success. Success at Arkansas State is not measured solely by national championships. It includes Sun Belt Conference titles, bowl eligibility, NFL placements, academic performance, and community engagement. The Red Wolves have proven that they can sustain competitiveness over multiple eras. That consistency defines the program's identity. Outro. Arkansas State football has existed for over a century. From College Division National Championship in 1970 to 3 consecutive Sun Belt titles in the 2010s, to navigating the modern NIL era, the program has consistently evolved, and the story is still being written. I'm Abby, and this has been Media Girls Playbook. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you the next time in the playbook.